it's important to answer, ask and answer questions and give evidence that supports our answers. That way, like when we determine the theme, and maybe it's not something that I've thought of, right, Nicholas? If I didn't think of it, your example or your evidence can back it up, and I can be like, oh my goodness, that's not something that popped up in my mind, and that would be able to be proof or evidence, and I would buy into your answer, right? So what we're going to do is throughout these stories, throughout the, let's see, lessons 1 through 5 of The Wind in the Willows so far, you guys have had some really great listening ears. And so we're going to look at the images that we've seen throughout lessons 1 through 5 to see what happened during that image, right? So we have pictures here, 2 of them, from, let's see, lesson 1 for this first one and lesson 2. But I would like you to summarize. Who could tell me what summarize means? What does that mean? Nadia? To remember something from the story. And let's tag team with Finley. We're going to remember something from the story and
remember back and read tell your partner what happened.
Yeah.
What happened in those lessons.
Absolutely. So we're going to remember back and talk with our partner and tell what happened in those lessons, right? Exactly. So we have 2 images here, and we're going to focus on this top left one. I want you to turn and share with your partner what happened. What were the events that happened? Can you please summarize that first image? Green, go.
And that's a dangerous place to go to. They fell badger.
All right. Who would like to share out? What is the plot for that first image there? Maddie? You're good.
So, Mole comes into the wild woods, which, he's wondering what it is, and Rat is telling him that, it is the wild woods, and, he's not going there because there's a city behind there, and there's a lot of, feisty animals inside the wild woods.
All right. Very, very specific vocab there. You know the name of those woods, the wild woods, and that there's feisty creatures, feisty animals there. So Rat tells him not to go there. Nice job. All right. We're going to turn and share again for that second bottom right image. Green, go. All right. So who can summarize what happened in that image? Johnny.
Rat invited Mole to his house because Mole tripped them over into the lake.
Yes. So Rat invited Mole over to his house because he tripped him over in the lake. Anything to add, William? Same. Anything to add, Forrest?
Can I just go get some water?
Yes, thank you for asking. Danica.
Same as Johnny's, except Rat gave Mole a robe and some slippers.
Okay, because they were in the water, so Rat gave Mole some a robe and some slippers to keep him warm. Absolutely. Okay, so this time we did the last slide, we just did one picture at a time. So this one, I would like you and your partner to try both images. Okay, I know it's a little fuzzy translating from my tablet here to the screen, but the colors and things, like, you can get the general idea, right? Give me a thumbs up that you could still make out like what was going on in that picture, that image. Okay, sweet. So you're going to look at both images, the left and the right here, and you're going to summarize the plot and the events that happened. Okay? Green, go.
Was kicking somewhere, and then someone else ran into them, and Rat was yelling at them, and he was trying to Mole went to go to find Badger, and then Rat saw that the house was so quiet, so then Rat went to go looking for them, and there were like eyes peeking out everywhere. So then Mole
All right, nice job giving our 4 B's, Bobcats. Okay, so let's start with the top left one here. What is the plot of that image? What is the plot, Caleb?
So, Mole asked Rat if he could go see Toad, and then they went to Toad's house, and Toad was like, hold on, I have something cool, like a little carrier, and he broke up the seat, and he was like, do you want to go on a road trip? And Rat was like, alright, fine, and they went on a road trip, and while they're going, there's like a motor car. The motor car drove right past them, and they fell, and then the cart fell over, and Toad fell onto the ground, and Toad.
Okay, find your 9 o'clock partner, okay? All right, Caleb, that was a great summary. Let me see if I could put it into my own words and summarize your summary, okay? So, Mole wanted to go visit Toad, correct? And then, so he brought Rat along, and when they came to Toad, Toad was like, I have something really awesome. And so he showed him the little caravan, right? Which had a horse and like a little cart behind it to stroll along. And so they went on an adventure. And then eventually, you said a motor car went by, right? And Toad was so excited about that he got distracted and it startled the horse. So then everything got toppled over. Did I hit everything correct? Yeah, that was a great summary. Anything to add, Kennedy?
They were in a little caravan.
They were in a little caravan. Great vocab word there. Caravan, you got it. Anything to add, Danica?
Same with Caleb and Kennedy. Just remember what Mole said to Rat. He wanted to call on Toad.
He wanted to call on Toad. Great job, because we talked about how there's little sayings that the British use that maybe we don't say, right? Like call on, we would probably say like go visit, right? Or head over, okay? Or go to their house, but they use call on. So I'm seeing some really great vocab that you're using. All right, we're not finished, so thank you for sharing. Okay, we're going to keep going. All right, our next 2 slides here, which are our last 2 slides, we are going to do the same thing. So for those that are just joining us, we are summarizing these images. We're telling what the plot is, the events that have been going on, and we're doing that with our partner, and then we're going to share out with the whole group. This time we're going to do, again, 2 images, okay, the top left and bottom right here, and we're going to summarize each of those images. Green, go. Who's your 9 o'clock partner, Emery? Right there, yeah, join them. Danica, who is yours again? Aaliyah? Okay, they should be back soon, okay? So I love how you problem solved that and went over and saw Aaliyah D. And yeah, so do the 3 here, that works. Way to problem solve that. There you go.
And bowl is like morning coffee. And bowl went out until it was like the last image that we see. Then bowl was
Did you talk about the left image yet?
bowl was being.
Did you talk about the right image? No.
Well,
what happened in the right
selfish
image?
at rat. Bull was being selfish at rat, so
Yep, that one to the right.
and then he
With Badger in the snow.
the badger came, and then Badger opened the door and let him in. He gave him a rope and slippers, and then he said, I have some chow in the room. Breakfast is whenever you would want to.
And then anything to add to that, or did she summarize pretty well? All right, nice job,
And
team.
Badger was like, there's 2 rooms over. Really got to get more.
All right, who can summarize this top left image here? Let's hear from Aaliyah D. What did you and your group talk about?
So our group talked about the first one, and so it looks like they had a feast and stuff, and we can see Otter, and it looks like Badger has a cup, and sometimes in like shows they have a cup, then they go like with something, then go like announcement or something. That's what it looks like.
Okay, anything to add to Aaliyah D's summary? Maddie.
Mo tripped over something in the snow, and
You're good.
he got scraped, and that
Find your 9 o'clock partner and sit with them, okay? Okay.
there, and he saw a door scraper. He told Mo to come go over there,
Mm-hmm.
and Mo saw him, and he said, and Rat said that, look, it's a door scraper that you
Find your
picked
9
up.
o'clock partners,
And
okay?
he said, well, it's probably just out here. There's no reason why doors could be out here, but it's probably just out here.
Okay.
And then Rat started digging up some more, and he found a doormat, and he saw it, and he told Mo to come over, and Mo saw it, and he said, oh, it's probably just been thrown out it's probably the skunk that got thrown away out from here. And then he said that, and then he digged up some more, and then he saw a and he found I forgot what it's called.
You're talking about the bell pull? There you go. You've been doing a really great job with the vocab. A bell pull, right?
And then, he said, look, and then he had Mo come help me dig everything up.
Mhm.
He found Badger's house, and he said, see, all those leaded up to a house, and Mole said, I didn't know that. I didn't know that that was going to be there. Good job of that. I didn't figure it out. And then they made the door,
What do we call it?
the doorbell.
Yeah. We call it a bell pull. We call it a doorbell, right? Yep.
And then they ring the bell pull, and Badger came and Badger let them in, and Badger asked he needs a robe and slippers, and he put them at a long
You're talking about the bench? Yeah, the like long back bench.
and he asked him about Toad, and they said Toad, he's been in the hospital like 5 or 7 times, and he's just been buying everything.
Yeah.
And Badger said, well, once the weather gets nice, then I'll go out and help him. And then they went to their bed. There was 2 white beds inside one room, and they soon found themselves inside a bed sleeping. And next morning, they woke up kind of like late, and they went downstairs and they saw 2 hedgehogs.
Nice.
And they asked them what they were doing here. They said that they were on their way to school, and they got themselves lost in the snow river, and Badger let them in. And then they asked, where is Badger? And they said, Master Badger is going to go do some stuff.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Aaliyah D. and Maddie, for that summary. And you're doing a really good job of clicking your microphone on and off, just like I am over here. So both sporting our microphones that we can hear, because my voice still isn't going so well, is it? Same with Maddie. Maddie, you did a cheer yesterday and used her voice extra too. So we're getting some help here, which is very nice. All right, the last image. This is our last image to summarize. Who would like to share? Allison, what did you and your partner talk about? What is the plot?
Me and Henry talked about, so they got like all their stuff that they already had. Like they could put all their both of their hats on, their jackets on, their boots on, and Otter said that they're gonna go with them because they didn't want them wandering by themselves. Because Otter has been in the like wild or something by himself, so Badger just let him out of like the secret place, and he covered it back up so nobody would find out where he lives. Then they both so then I guess they were just like wandering or something.
All right, nice summary. You have anything to add to that, Johnny?
Before that happened, Rat started getting sick of living underground because he lives above ground.
Yeah. So he was starting to get like antsy and frantic, right? Yeah. So Allison and Johnny said that it was time for them to get back because Rat was starting to feel antsy being underground so long, and he needed to be out. He's a river rat, right? He needed to be out there. And so he wanted to go home, so Badger let him out one of the tunnels. One of the tunnels that was created by who? Who created these tunnels?
The builders a long time ago.
Builders a long time ago. And Andrea, did you have anything to add to that? Mole. Caleb?
While they're going through it,
Yeah.
Badger taught to him There used to be badgers here, a village of badgers here,
Mm-hmm.
but they all went away. And he said they made this hole because they didn't make the hole. He said he was like telling them a story about the people that was living there long ago,
Mm-hmm.
like badgers and other types of underground animals.
Yes, so all of your answers combined, right? That there were people. First there was badgers, right? Like this was, all the badgers were here. Then humans came, people came, and they're the ones who like made buildings and dug the tunnels and stuff. Because Mole was like, man, Badger, these are some awesome tunnels. I wish I could do this. And he's like, I didn't do it. So it was nice of him to be honest about it. Okay, so talking about Badger, I want to ask you, what kind of character is Badger? What kind of character is Badger? Go ahead and turn and share with your partner and talk about what kind of character is Badger. Green, go.
He is a nice,
He's nice, but actually he's really nice, and he is
Nice job teaming up with your 9 o'clock partner. High fives, everybody. Did you find your 9 o'clock partner? Do you remember who it is? Isn't it Caleb? Caleb, are you her 9 o'clock partner? Yep, there you go.
I don't know
All right, so what kind of character is Badger? Bryce, what did you and Brendan talk about? What kind of character is Badger?
he's a nice friend and stuff.
He is a nice friend. Danica, and then we'll go to Nick.
Loyal and hospitable.
Okay. Nick, then Nadia.
those nice people.
This is nice. Yeah. Nadia?
Like hospitable.
He is hospitable. Way to use that word. And that word is what? It covers it. A great host, right? To be hospitable means you are a great host. And that's one of our themes from the story, right? Yeah, I see Allison and Kennedy being like, same, so is Forrest. Like, I agree, same, thought the same. Yep, he is hospitable, because he is. Like, all the adjectives you're using for Badger makes him a great host. He's very hospitable. All right, anything to add, Jemiah?
He's very welcome.
He is very welcoming, isn't he? Because guess what? It's not very nice weather. What season is it?
Winter.
Winter. So he should be holed up in his little home and chilling and sleeping and eating some food and going back to bed. But
Christmas tree.
right? So the fact that he's letting some friends in because they're stuck and stranded or it's bad weather is very welcoming, very hospitable, very kind. All right. We're going to wrap this up by me saying, guess what? I just showed you, like 6 images. And I know that those aren't the only images that we saw, was it? We saw a bunch of images during our story. But the fact that you were able to take that one image and summarize previous events that happened that led up to that image, let's give ourselves an Alaska Airlines celebration. That was amazing. Right? I mean, you summarized things that like were other images that I didn't even show that led up to the images you showed and beyond. So, way to go. We are going to head back to our desks now, and we're going to do some word work. Green, go. All right, I see groups locking it in. It was very kind of you to help them out. All right, All Stars have locked it in. ABCFN has locked it in. Team Sky has locked it in. Oh, sure.
you.
You are welcome. Dream Team Travelers have locked it in. Champions have locked it in. All right. I see people that are sitting in slant with their brain connected to their spine doing their best learning to soak this up. Okay. I would like you to repeat after me. Dolce.
Dolce.
Domum.
Domum.
Dolce Domum.
Dolce Domum.
Yeah. So Dolce Domum. What do you think this saying means? You're going to do a heads together with your group. Dolce Domum. What do you predict this saying means? Green, go.
It's not Japanese. So in the book over there, do unto honors.
Mm-hmm.
In the book over there, do unto honors. It says like something. I think I heard this from over there, and I think since I heard tell since I heard tell. Are you guys listening? Yeah, I thought.
All right. What did your group predict it
I
means?
think it means a good class or yes class.
Good class or yes class?
Sounds like Spanish. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like a Spanish word? Okay.
I think it's a different language.
What leads you to believe that it's a different language?
Because what Johnny says is his grandpa has a lot of different languages, and he also has. It will be kind of one thing.
Do you want to do that later so you can focus with your group? Yeah. Okay.
It's probably like thank you or you're welcome.
All right, lock it in groups. We're looking for teammate number 1. What do you predict Dolce Domum means? Jemiah, are you number 1? Yeah? Okay. What did your group come up with?
Thank you or you're welcome in a different language.
Thank you or you're welcome in a different language. What leads your group to believe that? You want to tag team your partner behind? How'd you come up with that, Caleb?
Because I think I heard in over 2 hours because they have like different language. I think that's like is a nice language.
Okay, so Caleb is connecting that with the do unto others, and we read about please and thank you and excuse me in other languages. Okay, so making that connection. Maddie, what did your group come up with? Thank you for sharing.
Do you think that Dolce Domum means something that is in different languages like usually for families, and I also think it's something that is Russian.
Okay, so Maddie's group agreed with the champions and said that it's in another language. Believe it might be Russian. Okay, Allison, what'd your group come up with?
So we think that our group is that it's like something that says in Spanish, English, or like in a different language that we don't speak, or like it means like we think it means good class or yes class.
Good class or yes class? All right, Andrea. Same as champions. Okay, William?
Saying hello in a different language.
Hello in a different language. All right, so these are great predictions. Give me a thumbs up. How did your group work together? Thumbs on the side. We needed some work. Some people were off task. Thumbs down. Our group did not. We weren't successful working together. We weren't successful collaborating. All right. Thank you for sharing about your collaboration. Okay. Dolce Domum. You can put your thumbs down. Don't wear yourself out. Yeah. Dolce Domum means Home sweet home, or there's no place like home. But here's the thing, with your predictions, you are correct that it's another language. Here it is, it's Latin. Say Latin. Latin. Now, Latin is like back in the day, like I mean, you guys think the 1900s are really like a long time ago. Okay, let's go further back than that, right? Back in the day.
18, 17.
We're just gonna keep going back, okay? All right. And a hush fell over Alaska Airlines. Like back in the day, you can't even fathom how far back. We had languages around, and we had basically like I would say like a standard language. Okay, it was like a starting out language, and then as time and people evolved, we added some parts to it, right? But Latin is one of those like foundational languages, something back in the day, right? So Dolce Domum comes from back in the day, like way back in the day. Okay, and it means home sweet home, or there's no place like home. Maddie?
Is Green Latin another language?
Green Latin? Greek? I'm not quite sure.
I know it's something that my brother learned.
Are you talking maybe like Greek and Latin? Yes, okay, so Greek and Latin, yes. Greek is the same thing, like long time ago, and we have this like foundation of words and language, and then we've kind of evolved and added to it. Yes, got it. Thank you for that help, Allison. So, no place like home, home sweet home. This is what we're gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna tell you the prompt, and then we're gonna do a walk and talk. You're gonna do it with your 9 o'clock partner. The prompt is, have any of you ever moved from one place or home to another? And if so, what was it like? How did it make you feel? And if you haven't, and your partner has, listen to them. And if you haven't, you can share, what has it been like to stay and be in one place, right? So you're gonna partner up with your 9 o'clock partner, and you're gonna talk about, have you ever had to move? What was that like, and how did it make you feel? And if you haven't moved, you're gonna share about that too. We're going to take about a minute to do a walk and talk around the edges of the desk with our 9 o'clock partners. Any questions? Oh, thank you. Maddie does. Thank you for those that are sitting, listening for the words.
What if you were really little and you didn't really know what happened that much?
Okay, then you can share about staying where you've been and how that's made you feel. Great question. Thank you for asking. Nick?
Just asking.
You know what time recess is, right? All right, green, go. Walk and talk. Are you still Who's your partner? Yep, you got to walk and talk with them. Say that again.
What are we supposed to do again?
You're supposed to talk about, like, have you ever moved? Come here, Emery. Have you ever moved before? And if you have, how did you feel about that? What was that like? And if you haven't moved, you can talk about what it's been like to stay in one place.
But what if you are moving now?
Oh, you can talk about that too. Absolutely. Great question.
Mama's pregnant. Let's talk about what we did in our day.
And a hush fell over Alaska Airlines. Okay, parking on the carpet with your partners. William, either now or do you need more time? Have you seen a partnership that has been exhibiting the 3 personal standards?
me and Johnny need to talk about it together. We didn't have time to yet.
That's perfectly fine. Just wanted to check in and see how it's going. All right. So the title of this chapter is, how do you say it? There you go, Dolce Domum. Okay, and this is part 1. All right. Not long after their adventures in the wild wood, the rat and the mole found themselves plodding silently along a country lane. The rapid nightfall of mid-December had already descended upon them. The mole was thinking of supper as we followed obediently behind the rat, leaving the guidance in the darkness entirely to him. As for Rat, he was walking a little way ahead, as was his habit. He walked steadily with his shoulders humped, his eyes fixed on the straight gray road in front of him. This is why he did not notice poor Mole, when suddenly something soft and subtle, carried up gently upon the cool night air, caused Mole to stop dead in his tracks. So, Mole said something from the cool air that was soft and subtle caused him to stop in his tracks. What do you predict that is? What is something soft and subtle that came from the cool night air? Allison? Snow? Does anybody else have a different answer? Maddie?
Maybe
It could be an owl. All right. Okay. It was one of these mysterious sensory moments. It was one of these mysterious sensory moments that suddenly reached Mole in the darkness. It made him tingle through and through with its familiar appeal, even though he could not clearly remember what it was. What do you think a sensory moment is? What does Mole mean by that? It was one of those mysterious sensory moments that suddenly reached Mole in the darkness. Kennedy?
Like he can sense something.
Like he can sense something? Yeah. Johnny?
Something from a long time ago.
Something from a long time ago. Those are... Allison?
I think it's like he can tell like something's going to happen and it's going to go wrong.
Something's going to happen, he can tell. Aaliyah D?
Since we talked about Dojidoma, which means sweet, I think they're going to find a home.
Oh, okay. Those are all great answers. Sensory also means senses. Does anybody pull out that word from sensory? And how many senses? Show me on your hands. How many senses do we have? I see people with 5 up. Yeah, we have 5 senses. So here, Mole is using all of his senses, and he's like, based on the clues and the things that I'm smelling and what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, I know something's going to happen, and it's not a good thing, right? Or it could be a good thing, right? But he's using his senses in the darkness because most animals do that pretty well, right? As humans, do we do very well in the dark?
No.
Nope, that's sometimes.
Night vision goggles.
Night vision goggles, flashlights. Maybe if the moon is bright enough, we can see pretty well. William?
Lights. And feel. You forgot about feel, which I sense.
And he can feel, right? Yep. So having stopped suddenly in the pitch black of the night, his nose searched in an effort to recapture the vague scent that he had so strongly moved him. A moment and he had caught it again, and with it time came recollection in fullest flood. Home, the essence of which had wafted through the air. Why, it must be close by him at that moment, his old home, the one he had forsaken and never sought again. That day when he first found the river, and now it was sending out its scouts and its messengers to capture him and bring him in. The phrase, its scouts and its messengers, is the author's way of saying that the scent of Mole's home is acting kind of like scouts, right? Making good choices, but sending out and recruiting him, like sending out these clues to be like, come home, come back, we miss you, right? You got it. Since his escape on that bright morning, Mole had hardly given it a thought, so absorbed was he in his new adventurous life, with all its pleasures, surprises, and captivating experiences. Now, with a rush of old memories, how clearly it stood up before him in the darkness. shabby indeed, and small and poorly furnished. What does that mean, poorly furnished? What does that mean? Andrea?
I think it's cold or sad.
Cold or sad, because what is it lacking, Allison?
Like, basically everything's ruined inside of it.
Yeah, there's like minimal furniture, right? Furnished things to make it homey and cozy, right? All right. And yet it was his. It was his home he had made for himself. The home he had been so happy to get back to after his day's work. And the home had been happy with him too, evidently, and was missing him and wanted him back. All right. The call was clear. The summons was plain. He must obey it instantly and go home. Ratty, he called, full of joyful excitement. Hold on, come back. Oh, come along, Mole, do, replied the rat cheerfully, still plodding along. Please stop, Ratty, pledged the poor mole in anguish of heart. You don't understand. It's my home. My old home. I've just come across the smell of it, and it's close by. I must go to it. I must. Oh, come back, Ratty. Please, please come back. The rat was by this time very far ahead, too far to hear clearly what the mole was calling. He was also too far away to catch the sharp note of painful appeal in his voice, and he was much taken up with the weather, for he too could smell something. The rat smelled something suspiciously like approaching snow. So, with your partner, Rat initially continues his advance towards his own home instead of stopping with Mole. Why did he do that? Put your heads together with your partner. Green, go.
Because he just wants to get back to his home. Miss Nicholson, what was the question again?
Oh, yeah. So, Rat initially continues. He keeps going towards his own home instead of stopping with Mole. Why does he do that? Thank you for clarifying. Do you have an answer?
Yeah, I have an answer.
Okay. Okay, we're going to wait. Give some more time for other people. No. Nice job. I see that people wrapped up their conversations, and I could tell because it got quiet. And thank you for wrapping up your sentence there, Allison. Okay. So, William, what'd you and your partner?
Me and my partner heard that Rat could hear really clearly what Mole was saying, and he thought he was saying, "I'll be there in a second," probably. So he just kept going, and that's probably why he kept going.
Yeah, because he probably thought he'll catch up, and he's right behind him, right? Yeah. All right. Hattie.
Do you think that it could mean that he wants to go home, so then they know that their home is close to his? So when he gets home, he could just have Mole staying there until the weather is nice.
Yeah, so maybe he thought like going to his house would be great because then they could stay there since his house was furnished and had stuff in it. All right. Well, Rat knew that snow was coming, and so he wanted to hurry and get to his house, but he didn't even think about Mole in that instance, right? Where are they? We don't know. Are they closer to Rat's house? Are they closer to Mole's? Maybe Rat thinks that they're closer to Rat's house, right? Andrea? They could be in the middle, right? But Mole really misses his home and wants to go there. Okay? So we're going to keep going. Poor Mole stood alone in the road, his heart torn asunder, and a big sob gathering somewhere low down inside of him. But even under such a test as this, his loyalty to his friend stood firm. Never for a moment did Mole dream of abandoning Rat. Meanwhile, the wafts, what are wafts? You ever smell like cookies or pie or bread in the kitchen and you're in like another room? Yeah. There you go. So I heard people saying smells, like it's like a smell that's coming in your direction, right? Yeah, that's the power of your senses. Yep. Meanwhile, the wafts from his old home pleaded and whispered to him. He dared not mess around any longer within their magic circle. With a wrench that tore his very heartstrings, he set his face down the road and followed in the track of the rat, while faint little smells reproached him from his new friendship and his forgetfulness. With an effort, he caught up to the unsuspecting rat. With an effort, he caught up to the unsuspecting rat. What does that mean, unsuspecting? Heads together with your partner. What does unsuspecting mean? Take from the context clues there.
Well, that's what I thought.
All right, Forrest, what did you and your partner come up with? Either. There you go.
I didn't expect that.
Didn't expect that. All right. David.
Like not knowing, like unsuspected, like not knowing.
Not knowing, right? Not suspecting, not knowing that it's happening. Aaliyah D.
Like, you didn't know they were gonna do it or like get it.
All right. Nice job taking the context clues. He caught up with his unsuspecting friend Rat, right? He didn't know. He didn't know. He knew that there was a gap, but he didn't know, right? So with an effort, he caught up to his unsuspecting rat, who began chattering cheerfully about what they could do when they got back. In the midst of his descriptive fervor, the rat failed to notice his companion's silence and despair. At last, however, when they had gone some considerable way further, he stopped and said kindly, "Look here, Mole, old chap, you seem dead tired. No talk left in you and your feet dragging like lead. We'll sit down for a minute and rest. The snow has held off so far, and the best part of our journey is over." Give me a thumbs up that you agree with Rat that Mole is tired. Give me a thumbs down that you predict something else is going on with Mole. She already went to the nurse. Yeah, she's on her way. All right, so we have some thumbs up that say he's tired, some thumbs down that say he's not tired. For those that have their thumbs down, what do you think is going on with Mole? Jemiah?
He has a broken heart
He has a broken heart. Why?
because did something to him.
Rat kind of, yeah, the rat could have done something to him. That's part of it, right? But not the entire thing. What do you think, Nick? He has a broken heart.
That he's just depressed.
He's just depressed because why? We're Aaliyah D.
Because he probably feels like he wants to go back to his old self, not this new self.
Right. He wants to go back to where he's comfortable, back to his home. Right? Nice job feeding off of each other here. This is going to be our last slide for today. And I don't think we'll get through the entire thing. Okay? The mole rested forlornly on a tree stump and tried to control himself, for he felt it surely coming. The sob he had fought was no longer refused to be beaten. Up and up it forced its way to the air, and then another, till poor Mole at last gave up the struggle and cried freely and helplessly. All right, so when Mole catches up with the rat, Mole breaks down into tears. Why? Share with your elbow partner. Why? Can you wait until recess? It's just in a few minutes, okay? Can you finish your talk with your partner? You can't? Okay, go ahead and head down. Nope, take it with you. Thank you. Okay. You want to put it on your desk, and I'll help you fix it in a bit. Okay, thank you. Why, when Mole caught up to Rat, was he crying?
Because he didn't want it.
Share that with your elbow partner, your 9 o'clock partner. Excuse me. Let me get out of your way.
Because I know.
All right, I see that conversations are wrapping up. All right, Brendan, what did you and your partner come up with? Why was Mole crying when he caught up to Rat?
Because he left him.
Because he left him. That could be part of it, right? Johnny?
He didn't want to leave his house, or he didn't want to leave Rat.
He didn't want to, yeah, he was kind of like torn. Do I leave Rat? Do I leave my house? Kind of want both, right? Caleb?
Because he didn't want to leave that. He didn't want to leave that, and they were
Yeah, he didn't want to leave Rat. They went on so many adventures. Nick.
He wanted to go.
You wanted to go home. Last, Kennedy?
Um, they were like best friends because they were friends for so long.
Yeah.
And like Rat got kind of like a little bit frustrated and wanted to go back to his house and like get warm, but Mo just wanted to go back to his home because he hasn't been there for a while. He wanted to go with Mo and hang out there, but Mo wanted his house. I mean, Rat wanted his house.
Yeah, so if I summarize everybody's answers, it's on the same page. Like, they've had a good friendship so far. It doesn't mean it's over, right? But he's been gone since spring. So spring, summer, fall, winter has been on these adventures, and he's missing his home, correct? Okay, so here is your exit slip to get to recess. Okay, what is the theme so far in this chapter, Dulce Domum, that has popped up? Okay, what is the theme? We've talked about theme the last few days. And then what is an example of that theme that led you to that theme? All right. Forrest, Finley, my flight attendants pass these out. Head back to your... Nope, this is all by yourself. This one's independent. Green, go. Money. Finley, people are heading back to their desks. Thank you so much for being on top of your job. Name at the top.
William has us.
Yes, we'll do that. Thank you for letting me know.
Oh my gosh, sad.
Okay, while you're filling that out, William and Johnny have a scout. Who are your scouts?
I think it was Allison and Kennedy. Because they're raising their hands when they have questions instead of shouting it out. A lot of people think they do, but I just think Allison
All right, and nice job mentioning one of the 3 personal standards. They were being respectful, right, and giving some evidence why. Nice job, Kennedy and Allison, but you are correct. There were a bunch of partners that were doing a great job, so I'm sure that made your job difficult, right? Yeah, which is a good thing. All right, Emery, you have your name at the top. Let's start with that, okay? Okay, if you are finished, you could put it on my desk and head out to recess. Yep, give me a piece of evidence that led you to that word. Okay, may I write for you?
Yeah.
Okay, what's a theme? What's something that happened in the story? Like, what's a message that you got from this story so far? What happened at the end with Rat and Mole? They were walking, right? And both of them wanted to go their own home. But what did Mole do? He did, but did he leave Rat? So what does that mean? He wanted to go to his house, but he didn't leave Rat. So what kind of person, what kind of character does that make Mole? He wanted to go home, but he didn't. He stuck with Rat. So what kind of character does that make Mole? Makes him sad. Yeah, so a theme from today is like, what?